Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Um,
We know a lot of you are interested in men's rights and that whole red pill philosophy,
yeah.
especially, understanding those kind of like unspoken covert contracts, right?
Okay.
Those expectations that society has for men.
Hmm.
And we're also getting a lot of questions about, how feminist and Marxist ideologies
Yeah.
have impacted, societal institutions.
They're
So,
definitely big topics.
yeah. So we're going to dive into a book today called Title Redacted,
Okay.
which seems to be resonating with a lot of men who, feel disenfranchised by modern society.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's pretty direct. It's pretty thought provoking.
It doesn't shy away from anything.
No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, our mission in this deep dive, I guess, is to unpack
That's
some of the
great.
book's core arguments about gender roles and societal expectations,
Okay.
and the impact of feminist ideology. But we're also going to encourage you to think critically
Yeah.
about what you hear. We want to equip you with the information, context, to draw your own conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
So let's jump in.
Let's do it.
One of the book's central arguments is that this push for enforced equality
Okay.
can actually be detrimental
Interesting.
because it ignores like fundamental differences between men and women.
Right. Yeah.
And they use the example of the Kung San tribe in Africa,
Okay.
which is a society that has maintained these traditional gender roles
Oh, wow.
for centuries, right?
Yeah.
Men hunt, women gather.
Okay.
And the author argues that this division isn't due to some, patriarchal conspiracy,
Right.
but rather a pragmatic approach based on inherent strengths and skills.
Right.
I mean, the Kung San are not concerned with,
Right.
abstract political theories.
No, they're focused on survival.
We're focused on survival.
Right.
And the book kind of suggests that maybe modern society's obsession
Okay.
with erasing all gender distinctions is actually working against
Interesting.
our natural inclinations.
I see what they're saying.
Yeah, and so it raises this crucial question, right?
Yeah.
What does true equality actually mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does it require complete sameness,
Yeah.
or is there room to acknowledge differences while still striving for fairness?
That's a good question.
And the book uses the example of transgender athletes in women's sports to illustrate this point.
No. Okay.
Right? So they talk about, a female weightlifter who trained for years
Right.
only to be defeated by a transgender competitor
Okay.
with a clear biological advantage.
Yeah.
And this woman ultimately left the sport,
Oh, wow.
feeling like the playing field was no longer level.
It's got to be so disheartening.
Yeah. And so the book's kind of using this example to highlight the potential unfairness
Yeah.
of disregarding biological differences.
Okay.
Right? They argue that true fairness in competition, and maybe in society as a whole, necessitates acknowledging that men and women are not physically identical.
They're not.
Right.
It's true.
And this leads to some complex and controversial discussions.
Yeah.
Speaking of controversial, the book goes on to make a bold claim.
Okay.
They say leadership is inherently male,
Wow.
shaped by both biology and historical factors.
Okay.
And they emphasize the role of testosterone,
Right.
arguing that it fuels those classic male leadership traits like risk-taking, decisiveness,
Okay.
strategic thinking.
Gotcha.
And they cite a 2012 study that found men with higher testosterone levels were more likely to seek leadership positions
Interesting.
and display, dominant behaviors.
Right.
The author then connects this to historical examples like the Titanic.
Go the Titanic.
Remember, 74% of the women survived, but only 20% of the men.
Wow. Yeah.
Right. And here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The book argues this wasn't just random chance.
Okay.
It fits with this idea that men are biologically wired for crisis leadership to protect others even at their own peril.
Right.
And there's research to back that up. The 2019 study found that during crises like wars or natural disasters, people tend to prefer male leadership.
Oh, wow.
Right? They trust men to make tough decisions under pressure.
Fascinating.
So the book's suggesting that who we see as leaders might be influenced by biology, not just social conditioning.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it really prompts us to reconsider the historical context of leadership and whether our assumptions about
Yeah.
gender and leadership might be shaped by more than just cultural norms.
That's a good point.
Let's move on to another kind of hot button issue,
Okay.
the hashtag Me Too movement.
Yeah.
The book offers a pretty critical perspective,
Interesting.
arguing that it kind of evolved from this like necessary movement to expose harassment into something that now demonizes all men.
Okay.
And they highlight a statistic from 2019.
Yeah.
60% of male managers reported feeling uncomfortable mentoring women
Oh, wow.
for fear of false accusations.
Yeah.
So the book is suggesting that while the movement aimed to, hold abusers accountable,
Right.
it's also created this atmosphere of fear and mistrust,
Yeah.
where even innocent interactions between men and women are fraught with risk.
Absolutely.
Right. And this kind of ties back into that idea of covert contracts.
Yeah.
The book's suggesting men are increasingly unsure of what's expected of them
Yeah.
when interacting with women.
That's a good point.
Right. It raises questions about the intended versus actual consequences of social movements. Did the pursuit of justice in one area inadvertently create injustices in another?
That's a great question.
It's definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
And the book doesn't stop there.
Okay.
They introduce this concept of the invisible male,
Okay.
arguing that men's contributions to society are increasingly overlooked
Right.
while women's achievements are celebrated. Where the author's arguing that men are expected to be these stoic providers,
Yeah.
shouldering burdens without complaint. But then their sacrifices are taken for granted and their struggles are ignored.
That's a good point.
And this resonates with your interest in covert contracts, right?
Well, yeah,
There's
definitely.
this unspoken expectation that men work hard, provide for their families, and remain stoic in the face of challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And the book is saying that this covert contract is becoming increasingly burdensome for men,
Yeah.
especially as societal norms shift.
Especially a societal norm shift, exactly.
Yeah.
And the book uses the film Fight Club to illustrate this point,
Oh, Fight Club. Interesting.
highlighting, the protagonist's struggle to reclaim his masculinity
Yeah.
in a world that seems to devalue traditional male roles.
Oh, I see.
They're arguing that this feeling of being invisible,
Yeah.
of having your contributions overlooked, is a source of deep frustration for many men.
Right.
And it feeds into that sense of being trapped by a covert contract they never explicitly agreed to.
Exactly.
So let's talk about another major theme. The author's critique of feminism
Okay.
and what he perceives as a double standard
Gotcha.
regarding accountability,
Okay.
right? The book argues that feminism often perpetuates inequality by holding women to lower standards of accountability.
Okay.
And for example, they cite the statistic that 10% of sexual assault accusations are false,
Wow.
based on data from the National Registry of Exonerations.
Okay.
And they're arguing that, while false accusations are a serious issue,
Yeah.
there's often limited accountability for those who make them. While men's lives can be irrevocably damaged by even a single unsubstantiated claim.
That's a good point.
Right. And this connects back to that vulnerability many men feel,
Yeah.
especially in the wake of this #MeToo movement.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. The author suggests that feminist ideology sometimes encourages a sense of female entitlement,
Okay.
where women are taught to expect special treatment without necessarily taking full responsibility for their actions.
Oh, interesting.
They give the example of a veteran returning from Iraq who struggles to find work, while women are often given preferential treatment in hiring.
Right.
And so this, according to the author, highlights how feminism might inadvertently create a system
Yeah.
that disadvantages men even in areas where they've made significant sacrifices.
That's a really good point.
And this leads us to your interest in the family court system.
Yeah.
The book dives into divorce and child custody,
Okay.
claiming the system is inherently biased against men.
Oh, wow.
The author shares anecdotes of men working long hours to provide for their families,
Right.
only to be labeled deadbeat dads during divorce proceedings
Oh, jeez.
and burdened with, exorbitant child support payments.
Yeah.
There's this heartbreaking story about a man named John
Oh, no.
who, despite tirelessly supporting his children, was stripped of his rights and financially crippled by child support.
That's awful.
The book highlights the statistic that men win only 10-15% of contested custody cases,
Wow.
suggesting that the courts might be predisposed to favor mothers,
Yeah.
even when fathers are equally capable and loving.
That's tough.
It paints a rather grim picture.
Yeah, it does.
And it gets even more intense when discussing hypergamy.
Okay.
Hypergamy is described in the book as like this hardwired female instinct to seek higher status partners,
Okay.
driven by a desire for security and resources.
Gotcha.
And the book uses interesting examples to illustrate this.
Yeah.
For instance, they refer to the movie Crazy Rich Asians
A crazy rich Asian.
to demonstrate how women are drawn to men with wealth and status,
Right.
even if those men might lack other desirable qualities.
I see what they're saying.
The author shares anecdotes of men dumped by their partners for not receiving promotions
Oh, wow.
or being wealthy enough.
Ouch.
It even mentions the wife of a CEO who left him for a billionaire.
Oh, my gosh.
Begs the question, how much is ever enough?
Right.
Right. The book suggests that in the modern dating landscape,
Yeah.
men face immense pressure to achieve financial success,
Yeah.
not just for themselves, but to meet the expectations of women,
Right.
driven by this primal desire for upward mobility.
I see.
And it's a challenging concept to process,
Yeah.
especially for men already feeling disenfranchised by societal expectations.
That's true.
The book then targets gender quotas in the workplace,
Okay.
arguing they prioritize gender over merit
Yeah.
and often lead to negative consequences.
Gotcha.
They share an example of a tech company that implemented gender quotas
Okay.
and subsequently experienced a decline in innovation and employee morale.
Oh, wow.
The author suggests that prioritizing diversity over competence can backfire,
Interesting.
harming both the company and its employees.
Right.
The book also highlights the glass cliff phenomenon,
Oh, yeah. The glass cliff.
where women are promoted to leadership positions during crises,
Right.
setting them up for failure and making them scapegoats when things inevitably go wrong.
Yeah.
There's a striking statistic from a 2021 Harvard Business Review study that found that companies with gender quotas experience a 15% decline in productivity.
Wow.
And the book uses this research to support its claim that gender quotas often do more harm than good to companies.
Yeah.
Right? It's another controversial topic.
Sure.
But the book argues that these policies create resentment among male employees
Yeah.
and ultimately undermine their intended goals.
Right.
Let's shift our focus to a deeply personal topic for many men, the mental health crisis.
Okay.
The book argues that society often overlooks men's mental health struggles,
Right.
dismissing them as weakness or something they should simply man up and handle on their own.
Yeah. Man up.
They use the phrase silent suffering syndrome to describe this phenomenon,
Okay.
emphasizing how men are often conditioned to suppress their emotions and suffer in silence.
Yeah. That's a good point.
The book shares the statistic that men are 3 times more likely to experience mental health decline
Wow.
after a no-fault divorce,
Yep.
suggesting that the emotional toll of relationship breakdowns and losing their children
Right.
can have a devastating impact on their well-being.
Absolutely.
They also point out how some companies offer mental health resources exclusively for women,
Oh, really?
leaving male employees to fend for themselves.
Wow.
And the book argues that this lack of support
Yeah.
contributes to the alarmingly high suicide rates among men.
That's heartbreaking.
Right, and suggests we need to do a much better job recognizing and addressing men's mental health needs and creating a culture where they feel safe seeking help without shame or judgment.
Absolutely.
The next section is pretty intense.
Okay.
It explores the idea that intimacy is often weaponized against men,
Wow.
leading to false accusations and manipulation.
Oh, geez.
The book tells the story of a man named James
Okay.
who lost access to his children
Oh,
due to false accusations of abuse during a custody battle.
it's terrible.
Right, and the author emphasizes the devastating damage that false accusations
Yeah.
can inflict on a man's life,
Right.
legally, emotionally, and psychologically.
Of course.
The book cites a 2019 study that found 10% of rape accusations are false,
Wow.
highlighting the need to address this issue while acknowledging that the vast majority of accusations are legitimate.
Of course.
It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
But the book argues that the current climate, where men are often presumed guilty until proven innocent,
Right.
creates an environment where false accusations can flourish
Yeah.
with devastating consequences.
Absolutely.
Right? And this section likely resonates with many men
Yeah.
who fear the potential repercussions of false accusations,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a culture where such accusations can rapidly spread through social media
Absolutely.
and ruin a man's reputation, even if he's ultimately cleared of any wrongdoing.
Yeah. Social media is rough.
Right? This book certainly covers a lot of ground.
It does.
We've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And are already halfway through our allotted time for this deep dive. Let's take a moment to kind of reflect on what we've discussed so far.
Right.
Before we jump into the rest of the book's arguments,
Sounds good.
it's important to remember that this is one perspective
Right.
presented with a specific agenda.
Mm-hmm.
As we go forward, let's keep thinking critically about the ideas presented
Yeah.
and consider their implications within the larger context of our societal discussions about gender roles and expectations.
Absolutely.
I mean, it can be a lot to process, right?
Yeah.
Especially given the emotional weight these topics carry.
For sure.
But as we always say, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Understanding the arguments laid out in Title Redacted,
Yeah.
even if you don't agree with everything,
Right.
can help you navigate these complex issues
Yeah.
and perhaps even shed light on your own experiences.
For sure.
You mentioned at the beginning you were particularly interested
Yeah.
in that idea of covert contracts, right?
Absolutely.
So there's unspoken societal expectations
Mm-hmm.
placed upon men. And the book really digs into how those can be both beneficial and burdensome.
They can, yeah.
Right.
It's like a double-edged sword.
They can provide a sense of purpose
Yeah.
and direction,
Yeah.
but as societal norms evolve,
Right.
some of those expectations can start to feel outdated,
Yeah.
even unfair.
For sure.
And the book argues that many men feel trapped by these shifting expectations, uncertain about how to navigate the new rules of the game.
Absolutely.
It's like walking a tightrope,
Yeah.
right?
It is.
Finding that balance is key.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this book, regardless of whether you agree with all its conclusions,
Right.
it encourages a more nuanced and open conversation
Yeah.
about gender roles and expectations.
It does.
I think the book's exploration of the mental health crisis
Yeah.
among men is particularly relevant.
Is.
That statistic about men being 3 times more likely
Yeah.
to experience a decline in mental health after a no-fault divorce.
That's huge.
That's huge. That's alarming. It really highlights the need for more open and honest conversations
Right.
about men's emotional well-being. As the book points out, society often dismisses men's struggles,
Yeah.
telling them to simply man up
Man up.
and suppress their emotions.
Right.
And that kind of dismissive attitude can be incredibly damaging,
It is.
right? Creating a culture where men feel comfortable seeking help
Yeah.
and expressing their emotions without shame or judgment is crucial.
It's so important.
So where do we go from here?
That's the question.
Title Redacted offers a lot to consider.
It does.
It challenges us to question our assumptions about gender equality,
Yeah.
the very fabric of modern society.
The big questions.
I think the most important takeaway is to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Right? Don't just accept what you hear at face value.
Absolutely.
Do your own research. Consider different perspectives.
Yeah.
And come to your own conclusions.
All you can do.
If you're interested in exploring these ideas further,
Yeah.
you can find Title Redacted on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books.
Awesome.
It's a thought-provoking read
It is.
that will challenge you to think critically about the issues we've discussed today.
For sure.
Remember, critical thinking is key,
It is.
right? Engage with the material,
Yeah.
question the assumptions,
Absolutely.
and form your own informed opinions.
That's the goal.
Well, this has been quite the deep dive.
It has.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Title Redacted.
Appreciate it.
We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep striving for a better understanding of this complex world we live in.
Couldn't have said it better myself.